What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Cypher. How you doing? Back with another video. Look, guys, as you guys can see, camera quality is like 10 times better than the ones that I've been using. Usually what I used to record is my cameras or my webcams that I used to stream. And then I thought, might as well invest in, the better technology, I guess you could say, just some better equipment. That way I can, it just looks a lot cleaner when I put it into any kind of editing or even just into these new videos, because I plan on start vlogging as well. This will help with throwing in like real life examples and clips. So I've been super excited to show it off. So I just have to get this video knocked out the way. But before I do that, guys, I just want to let you know one thing. Don't go to bed to chase your dreams. Instead,
wake up to reality.
okay, guys, so this is a video, the title, as you see once you clicked it, is an introduction to Self-Care Sunday, right? And what that is this actually came from a friend, because of a lot of the topics that I like to talk about, and a lot of what I like to voice myself, voice my topics, I should say. A lot of it seems to be, a lot of motivating topics, a lot of like wanting others and wanting myself to do the absolute best. So she was like, why don't you start something and call it like Self-Care Sundays? So, if this takes off, I owe all the credit to her. She's the one who put this idea in my head. So I don't want this video to drag on because this is just an introduction. And it's funny because I said that in my last video. I was like, I don't want this video to be too long, and it ended up being like 30 minutes. Sometimes you guys should just tell me to shut up. Or maybe I should just tell myself to shut up. But without further ado, welcome to the introduction of Self-Care Sunday. Real quick, before my last video dropped, I had 49 subs, right? 49. I dropped that video. I don't really promote my stuff like that. I'm kind of like, if you find me, you find me. And then other times I'm like, I'll put it out there, and maybe it'll come across someone who really needs to see it and hear it, and maybe they could take something from it, and maybe they could tell me something that they learned. And now I'm up to 57. Like, that's a crazy jump from like one video. And my goal was like, all right, I want to hit 50, and then when I hit 50, I want to hit 100, and then the goal should be hit 200, so on and so forth, to get to 500. And once you get to 500, then you got to realize you're like, oh, I'm like halfway to 1,000. And when you hit 1,000, it should steadily keep rising at that point. So that's the plan, and that's the goal. So to jump from 49 to 57 in a matter of like 2 or 3 days, I was super ecstatic. So I just want to say thank you. Like, honestly, like, I really appreciate every single one of you guys who watch my videos, every single person who stops by and that's in the comment section. I know the last video was like 30 minutes, and I know sometimes if you're like a small time YouTuber, they're like, I'm not gonna sit around and watch 30 minutes of this guy just talk some nonsense. But then I think of some of my favorite YouTubers that I watch, and like sometimes they put out like an hour video, and I'm like, I'm sticking all the way through. I guess that's kind of just like, if once they reeled me in, then I'm just like, yeah, like I'm gonna stick through regardless of like what they're doing. Not to say like if they completely switch up their image and completely switch up who they are, and the reason why I started like gravitating towards them, then I might be like, but at the same time, it's like whether they put out a 10-minute video or a 45-minute video, I'm sticking through. So it's the same way with these videos. So if you stick through all the way, man, I appreciate you. So thank you. Pretty much with Self-Care Sunday, right? I want to do my best to be relatable with the audience. So we're just gonna start with like usually throughout the week. It's kind of crazy how it happens. I'll kind of go through something, or I'll have like a little like revelation, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, that would be like dope to talk about. And part of like being relatable with the audience is like, it's had to have happened to me, or at least it's got to hit close to home. So when it comes to these topics, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm gonna be nitty gritty essentially. if especially if it's like a topic that's like, yeah, like I've dealt with it and it's been like multiple times, like I have no issue being honest with you guys. I have no issue telling you guys how it is, how I dealt with it, and basically like how my intuition has carried me forward, what I've learned from it, mistakes that I've made. So that's the plan. Excuse me. So with these topics, I want to be as honest as possible. I want for you guys to see, a different side of me if you don't know who I am, in hopes that you watch these videos and you can see that, I'm just like you guys. I'm relatable, That's something that I struggled with. And I was like, don't nobody know my pain. Like, don't nobody know what I'm going through. Like, boo hoo hoo. Like, no. Like, we don't do that. Those sob stories, okay? Because guess what? Everyone has stuff that they go through, right? But they end up making it through. They end up, pushing on. And they become stronger in the process, right? And a lot of us realize that, like, hey, like, no one's gonna feel sorry for you. The world isn't gonna feel sorry for you. In that moment, you could feel, you could feel bad, but after that, you need to pick yourself up. You need to, you need to press forward, and at the same time, learn those lessons from it. So that's just, one of the objectives for Self Care Sunday. I just want to say that honestly, I'm really thankful to even be in a position like this, to have like even just a small platform like that's 57 subscribers. That's 57 people in a room. If you really think about that, like look at my room. Like is not that big, but it's pretty spacious. If I tried to fit all 57 of you guys in here, that'd be a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So on a small scale, you could think like, oh, 57, subscribers for YouTube isn't a lot. Okay, but fit those 57 people in a room and then talk to them, right? That's your audience. So in a way, I'm really thankful that I have this opportunity to, relate with you guys and to talk with you guys and to push out content, That's just one of the reasons why I started this channel. And the more, I go on about my day, I start to come up with different ideas and different topics and different things to throw into my videos. And that's how I know that this is truly like what I've been wanting to do. And I kind of consider myself like a jack of all trades. I love to just get my hands on everything, and I'm just like, yeah, like I want to be good at it. And as soon as I get good at it, and then I'm like, all right, what's the next thing? So, but this is one of those things that I want to carry on for pretty much the rest of my life. I'm like, look, I may be starting as a novice now, but if you play like role play games, which I do, then novice is like the beginner level, and then you move up. You have like a easy, then you have like medium, and then you get to like expert, or like for Call of Duty players, like veteran. Or if you're a 2K player, Hall of Fame. So that's the level I want to get to. But in order to get there, you have to start somewhere, right? You can't be a kid, can't be a baby and just start running. You have to crawl. Then you have to get up, fall a few times, and then you're like, man, okay, eventually I'm gonna get this because this taller human is walking around, and I want to walk around. So then you learn to walk. You know what I'm saying? So it's just stuff like that. And then once you learn to walk, then you start to run. So I mean, I don't really think I like running. Running's okay. Running's not my thing. It used to be my thing, but I'm just kind of like, you kind of have to be in the mood. But we'll get into that later with a whole nother self-care Sunday topic. So, and the last point I want to make is just giving those real life examples, right? When it comes to those topics, I want to pick things that I feel like we as humans, we as souls struggle with the most, especially in this part of my journey, right? Like I'm going to be turning 25 in a few months. Granted, that's still young. At the same time, that's 25 chapters that I've pretty much completed or gotten to in my life, and that's a lot. And this is like a time for like self-discovery in a way. So even when doing these videos, even when I create this content, in a way I'm still discovering who I am and what it is that I want to do while I'm on earth, while I have this one life, you know what I'm saying? And that's even crazy to think about. So even just talking about stuff like that, I'm just like, yep, there's another topic right there. Go and throw it in that big forehead, don't throw it. I know you guys see it. It's a big old dome over here. It is what it is. So a lot of what I see on platforms such as like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even YouTube, like a lot of what's being pushed nowadays, a lot of it's negative, right? Because think about it, that's what sells, right? That's what people would much rather see. People would much rather see a lot of juicy like topics or you know, honestly, a lot of just negativity in the world. Like, yeah, it's bad, but at the same time, it gets them interested, and that's crazy to even think about. Because I used to be like that too. I'm like, oh, what's going on in the celebrity world, or what's going on with this person, oh, yada yada yada. And once you start to like surround yourself with that, think of it as like you're eating some food, right? It kind of like they say you are what you eat, right? If you're eating like drama, if you're eating junk and you're eating all that crap, right? Eventually you're just gonna become that. But if you take that out of your regimen, take that out of your diet, and start replacing it with better habits and pretty much the more positive side of life, then you embody that. It's reflected on the outside. What you put on the inside gets reflected on the outside. So, also I want to touch up on that, like self-care and improvement aren't really like prevalent in today's age. It's not really being pushed. It's out there. I know it is. I've completely switched my whole YouTube algorithm, so I know for a fact it's out there. I know for a fact you can find topics like that, right? But is that really on the trending page? Is that really on, if you refresh a YouTube page and you're not signed in, is that the first thing you see? Probably not. So I'm not saying that I want to make it like that. I want to be that big. That option's not off the table. However, I want to push for that change, push for that that kind of culture in the world, right? I understand that I won't be able to reach every single person in the world, but I also understand that, like, hey, if I can reach 57 of you guys, right, that's 57 people who are willing to, at least listen to something that I have to say in hopes that they find something that they can take away and they can use to improve on their life. And think of it as like a virus, but a good virus, right? I infect 57 people. If each of those 57 people know like 2 or 3 people that kind of have that similar mindset, and then they infect them, like, you know what I'm saying, then it starts to like spread. And that's just one of my dreams. That's one of my goals that I hope to accomplish. So and right following into that is pretty much just using your platform for the better part, of like the world, better part of life, right? I'll throw up the image, but you guys know the image between the comforting lie and the unpleasant truths, right? It's got the everybody's in line for the unpleasant truth, and no one wants to know like the unpleasant, or excuse me, everyone's in line for the comforting lie, but no one's in line for the unpleasant truth. Why? Because sometimes the truth hurts. It does. It's a tough pill to swallow. You've heard that saying before. But at the same time, you have to be real with yourself. You have to be realistic. So part of that Self-Care Sunday is being real with yourself. And, like, I mean really being real. Like, don't just tell yourself, like, you're doing your absolute best when you know you're not. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. You're human. You're not supposed to be perfect. It wouldn't be fun being perfect. You know what I'm saying? So, and lastly, guys, I just want to see, everyone that I have in my circle, everyone that I consider family and a close friend, and even you guys. As soon as you became a subscriber, you became part of my circle, right? I want to see you succeed. Like, I want to see, like, maybe it'll happen in a later day, or maybe it'll even happen after I push this video out. But if you're a returning subscriber and then you watch this video and then you get to this part, like, I want you to tell me your dreams. I want you to tell me your goals. And I don't even care if they sound like silly to anyone else, right? Because what I wish for and what I dream for and what I hope to accomplish might sound silly to you guys, right? At the same time, but this is my life to live, and that's what I want to like accomplish. So even then, I'd want to hear what you guys want to get done. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, think about it. It really doesn't matter to me, yes, but I still want to see you succeed. I still want to see you push to become the very best. So, that being said, guys, this is the introduction to Self-Care Sunday. I hope to catch you guys in the next video. Like I said, we're going to be cranking out these topics now that we have some new equipment as well. We'll hopefully be recording some videos. That way I can throw them in for just some examples. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you in the next one.